story from the Wall Street Journal. You know I love the Wall Street Journal. Here it is. You know times are tough when the rich start cutting costs on their mistresses. According to a new survey by Prince & Associates, more than 80% of multimillionaires who had extramarital lovers plan to cut back on their gifts and allowances. Still, only 12% of the multimillionaire cheaters said they plan to give up on their lovers altogether for financial reasons. Ross Allen Prince, president of Prince & Associates. Why do I get the feeling this guy operates out of a post office box? Prince & Associates. The guy's name is Prince. Okay. Who are the associates? Never mind. He said rich people are getting hit, and they're all expressing the need to curtail unnecessary spending. By the way, it says here Prince & Associates is a wealth research firm based in Connecticut. He says lovers are part of the same calculation. Of course, any study of millionaires and their mistresses, it says here, should be taken with a large grain of salt. The survey, a subset of a larger wealth study, polled 191 individuals with a minimum net worth of $20 million who said they had lovers of at least a year or more. This to screen out the one-night stands, etc. About two-thirds of the respondents were men and one-third women. All were married and all had personal control over their finances, meaning the women and men surveyed were the primary wealth holders in their homes. The most surprising stats in the study relate to gender and what might be termed length of service. Length of service. Fully 82% of men in the study said they plan to lower the allowances to their mistresses, while more than three-quarters plan to provide fewer gifts, less expensive gifts, and fewer perks like jet rides, resort vacations, and top restaurant meals. Women were far more generous to their paramours in the face of financial crises. That's because the women in the survey are probably that Power 50 in Fortune magazine. A bunch of homely hogs who have to hire a gigolo to be their lover. Yeah. Says here less than 20% plan to lower allowances, gifts, and perks, while more than half plan to raise them. Susan Shapiro Barish, who teaches gender studies at Marymount Manhattan College, of course she has three names, and wrote Little White Lies, Deep Dark Secrets About Why Women Lie, said women value their lovers more than men at a time of economic trouble. She said, for the women, lovers matter more than ever now because the rest of life is so dreary. For the men, they're just cutting across the board. That's right. Cutting across the board. See, I'm not cutting now. I cut a long time ago. There's nothing left to cut. Seriously. Nothing left to cut. Says here, Ms. Barish added that women may value their lovers more today because their husbands are so miserable. If your husband lost his job on Wall Street and he's miserable, you need the escape, she says. And men don't? The duration of the relationship also seems to play a role in the economics of high-end cavorting. The study found that more than two-thirds of the millionaires who had been with their lovers for 3 or more years planned to cut back. That compares with less than half for those with a tenure of 1 to 3 years. What we found in talking to the respondents, Mr. Prince says, is that the magic of the relationship with their lover fades after a while, so they're more willing to let them go. Says here that the survey doesn't mean to suggest that all, most, or even a large minority of rich men and women have affairs. Simply a snapshot of a certain sample at a certain time. It suggests that at a time of financial crisis, it is better to be a kept man than a compensated woman. So here's what I want to find out. You know who you are. You've got a sugar daddy or a sugar mama. You've got somebody who is ladling out cash, ladling out your rent, ladling out the cost of your condominium, ladling out trips, ladling out just plain old gravy, as they are having an extramarital relationship or an extra relationship, like outside of their relationship, they're having a relationship with you. And I'm wondering if you've been cut back. I'm wondering if you've been cut back so much you ended the arrangement. Like you said, that's it. You know, it's one thing when you're paying for my condo, but when you decide to cut that out, I'm done. I'm moving on. I'm wondering if people are really getting cut. I'm wondering if there are, especially women, of course, but I'll bet there are some men, too. I'm wondering if there are people out there who are in these kinds of relationships where there's cashola or gifts involved who have been cut back. So I want to talk to those of you who are in that kind of relationship. Yeah, you're in a relationship with somebody much older, somebody who has a better job than you, a better career. They are professionals. They make big money. Maybe they are married. Maybe they live with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whatever. And they're doing you on the side at the same time they help you, pay your college tuition? They pay for your travel. They pay for the place where you live, your house, your condominium, your co-op apartment, whatever. I'm wondering if the people you are having these relationships with are cutting back. Now, if they are, I want you to call me right now, 1-800-5800-TOM. It's 1-800-5800-866. Tell me if you are in a relationship with somebody where you are in some way getting a financial benefit, and that person has decided to treat you the way General Motors or Chrysler or any other company that's laying people off. I'm wondering if you have been the victim of cutbacks from the person you're having a relationship with. If you have, call me now. It's the Tom Leykis Show. Thank you for tuning in. Here we are with shorter commercial breaks, fewer commercials, more telephone calls than ever. Aren't you lucky that you listen? Yes, you are. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Okay, there you are in a mutually beneficial relationship. Cashola and gifts come your way in exchange for doing the horizontal bop with somebody you otherwise wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, and wondering if that person is cutting back payments to you. 1-800-5800-TOM is the telephone. And by the way, how interesting is this? Every caller's a man. Every caller is a man. Art on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How's it going, Tom?
It's going okay.
All right. Pretty much my story is I'm a musician. I was kind of going in and out of jobs here and there, and I started hooking up with this older woman. She was about 12 years older than me. And, at first I was like, hey, I need some cash. I need some studio time, some rehearsal time. So she'd fork it up, And
he said fork it.
As the meeting up and the get-together would continue.
He's all forked up.
She got, she got very attached, and then she started buying me, like, instruments and all this stuff, and, handing money and, paying for dinners and everything. I was literally getting pampered. And pretty much, now that the way the economy is, like, she just completely, like, cut me off. Like, nothing is coming my way.
Really?
So I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to cut it off personally. And, she still wants to go out, and I'm just, like, ignoring her calls. And
she wants to go out, but she doesn't want to help you.
Now she's like, now she's trying to, like, oh, hey, you want to meet up today? I'm like, no, I'm real busy. I got some things to do. And
how old is she, by the way?
I'm 25. She's, I believe, 12 years older than me. So let me see. I guess she's, 37?
What does she do for a living?
She was working in real estate. Now she's working in other kinds of sales.
How did you run into her? How did you meet her?
Funny. One of my friends was dating one of her friends, and we just kind of hooked up at some spot, and it was kind of weird.
So
but,
how did the money come into it?
Well, like I'd go rehearse somewhere, and I'd be like, hey, I don't have enough money, and some spots in L.A. are very expensive to go rehearse, but the bands that I was rehearsing with, that would be the only place we could rehearse. So sometimes she would pay the entire rehearsal for everybody.
Wow.
And, I was like, at first it's like, wow, this was the first time that I was ever in a situation like that, and I was like, it's pretty sweet. And then after a while, it was like, hey, my birthday came up, and, she got me a guitar, and I was like, wow, that's pretty nice of her.
Have you told her why you don't want to see her now?
Not yet. I got to man up and do it, I guess.
Why not?
Yeah.
You might as well. I mean, I tell you what, if somebody wanted me to do something for nothing, I would just say, hey, you got to pay. No ticky, no washi. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. Thank you very much for your time.
All right. Thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. It's Jeff on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
Doing okay, Jeff.
Nice to talk to you. Hey, I was just listening in real quick. I got to make it quick. I got to go to work. But about the topic, I had this girl in Palm Springs I was dating for the last maybe 6-7 months, and she pretty much cut out my weed, tell you the truth.
She cut out your weed. So let me understand how it started, first of all. I mean, how old is this chick?
26.
She's 26. But she was supporting you by bringing you weed.
We had a little thing going. We'd go to the hotel and have a good time, and she'd bring me actually it was her man's weed. She'd bring it, and she cut that out as well as the hotels now. So
where are you supposed to have sex with her?
Like I was speaking to your guy on the phone right now. Last night we went to her friend's house, and nothing even happened. That's how bad it's getting out there, Tom.
So are you going to stop seeing her? What's the deal?
Last night didn't go too well, so she's a nice girl, but, like I said, I'm in it for the benefits, and she's cutting them, so, maybe we'll cut our ties.
Not a bad idea.
And so you're doing a great job, Tom, and I just want to add into this little conversation today.
Thank you for that, Jeff. I appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. I'm looking at a full board of men. It's all men. Pretty amazing. I expected there'd be some women. We're getting cashola from guys. They're not calling in. It's all the guys. Caesar on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Leykis.
Yes.
Mr. Leykis, I've also been affected by the economy.
How so?
I was dating, not so much dating, just seeing an older woman that I had met at the grocery store, and we became friends. And with time, there's been a couple of moments where I needed some help with some bills, and she didn't know about this, so she'd help me out, And recently, I guess her son lost his job, and he's moved into her home. And now he's getting involved with her bills and trying to figure out, how he can make money from her, I guess. And, I guess he saw a car payment that she'd made for me. So he starts asking and gets upset. And so now she says that, because of her son and her son's family, that she's got to cut me off.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, did she want to continue having sex with you?
Well, we're not that direct. I used to spend the night over at the house, and that's something that, I don't do anymore because he's there,
So it's not because of the money?
Excuse me?
So it's not because of the money?
As far as us not sleeping with each other anymore?
Right. The reason you're not seeing her is not because of the money. All right, this is painful now. Thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Amy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, I just have a question. I've been listening for a little while now. I hear you talking about, men, not giving women money, that everything should be equal.
Right.
Oh, right. Okay. So when men call in and say that they're getting money from women or, they have women doing things for them, you seem fine with that.
No, I'm not fine with it. But again, I ask people who are doing it to tell the story if they're getting cut back. This is not a matter of whether I approve or disapprove. I really didn't express an opinion.
Well, actually, the guy, Art, that just called, you had said that if
Well, you understand, this is not limited to men to call in. Men or women can call and tell that they've been getting money and they're getting cut back by their supplier.
Right, but what I'm trying to say is why, if anyone, like the woman... that
No one in this hour is being criticized for doing this. All I'm asking them to do is tell their stories.
No, I know. I was just asking you. I was just curious about your actual opinion about it, because
For me personally, I would not take money from somebody I'm having sex with for the purpose of having sex with them. Having said that, I did it once. I did do it once when I was 25 years old and flat broke, and my parents would not lend me $150. So I called a woman who I had dated at one time and had no interest in seeing anymore, and let her believe whatever she wanted to believe, which was that, oh, I was back. And I told her I was calling her because I was leaving town, and I'd been having a hard time with my parents because they wouldn't lend me $150, and I was broke. And you know, I imagine I'll figure it out somehow. And this woman showed up at a hotel near the airport where I was about to leave town, and she showed up with a brown bag that contained bills totaling $150. So I did it that one time. It's certainly not something I'd ever want to do again. I don't ever want to owe anybody anything.
Right.
I have no problem with prostitution. I have no problem with people, you know, getting what they need. And I think your sexuality is certainly something you own. You have a right to sell it if you want to. But it's not something I would want to do ever again. Having said that, this hour was not about criticizing people. This hour was about reporting to me to see how far the recession has gotten. Has it gotten to people with sugar daddies or sugar mamas who are paying them to have sex or paying them for a relationship on the side? Have these people cut back? The purpose of it was not to say, ooh, that's great that you're doing that, or that's terrible that you're doing that. And I have not criticized or complimented anybody for their enterprise.
No, I'm not saying that you did. I apologize if I called during the wrong time. It's just this is when I get to listen to you, and I've been actually wanting to ask you this question for some time. So I didn't mean to call at the wrong time to ask it, but I was just curious. And when I heard Art talking and you said that, you know, he's not getting, I don't know exactly how you said it, but something about him not getting, or her not getting anything, giving you any more money for nothing, it just...
Because he was only having sex with her because he was getting compensated.
Right. I understand.
If anyone cuts off payments to me for my work, whether it be voiceovers or making an appearance or whatever, if somebody tries to get me to do something for nothing, I say no.
Right. Well, that's all. I just wanted to know if your opinion was, because I hear you talking a lot about women, you know, getting men over for their money, and I just wanted to know if you think that's okay for men.
But now you're repeating everything you already said, so thank you for that. Well, I just wanted to say, and then she's going to repeat everything she already said. All right, we get it. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello here to John on the Tom Leykis show.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
Father, great to hear from you.
Did I call you? I think you called me.
Yes. Well, it's great to get on a long-time first time, and I just want to tell you about this relationship I'm having with a married girl.
Yeah?
Man, she used to buy me everything, man. I'd stay at her pad for months at a time. She'd buy me food. She'd always smoke me out, always get me to the bar, get me drunk. I mean, she made me work hard for it, but damn it if it wasn't a good thing to be in at the time.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, she's been cutting back. I haven't seen her in like 2 weeks now.
So you cut her off?
Well, that's a good idea, but I was thinking more about trying to, like, you know, pay my own bills and stuff. And because, I mean, the sex is good. I mean, she's like a 6, and normally I'm like in the 7s and 8s,
But really you are willing to do a 6 because she's paying you. Or taking you out.
Yeah, she's keeping me fed, she's keeping me smoked out and everything, and it's a great deal. But she's also really good at the horizontal.
So you're willing to be with a 5 or a 6, and you're willing to do it without compensation now because in the dark she's pretty good. What is she, a butterface?
Actually, she is.
Okay.
Everything else is pretty fantastic, but you know, sometimes.
Sometimes what?
Sometimes I just wonder, you know, I look at other women and I'm like, damn, Oh, I'm sorry. Should I say that?
Yes, you can say. Oh, Jesus, you're killing me, Larry.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. The Tom Leykis Show. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. That's right. Shorter commercial breaks, fewer commercials, more telephone calls. It's a win-win-win-win-win for you and all humanity at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. There you are. You're banging somebody. And now with gifts, the cash, the student loan payments, they've all evaporated. How did that happen? Andrew on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How's it going, Father?
It's going great, son.
Hey, good to talk to you. First time, long time. I have a girlfriend. She's 45. She's married. She takes me out to, nice dinners. We go out to Hawaii. We've been to Vegas, Miami, you name it. And now, I guess her husband and her lost a bunch of money, like on stock, and they're losing their house and stuff. And, now when I see her, she has to come over to my apartment and stuff, and, it's getting bad.
So let me understand something. How does she look for 45? Hideous?
She's good looking. She ain't that bad, She I would say she's an 8. She's good looking. Yeah, I can't complain about that.
Good looking, just 45.
Yeah, in a really
What?
Yeah.
No, the phone cut out. What was the last thing you said?
Yeah, like she's just really unhappy in her marriage. So we met working, and ever since we were just hitting it. We were just going out and doing like crazy stuff together. I'm single. I don't care. But now when she wants to see me, she has to come over to my apartment, and it kind of sucks because I have a roommate. It's not like what it used to be.
So what are you doing now? Are you going to cut her off as well?
I don't. I think so. Since I want to head out and explore other fields.
I understand. You're going to plow some other fields.
Yeah, I want to go somewhere else. I want to go get something younger, because hotter. I am a loyal listener, and I take advice from Leykis 101.
All right, Andrew. Thank you for that. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Angel on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm okay.
Great. Yeah, this past Christmas, I've been with an older woman. She's in pharmaceutical sales, and every Christmas before this, we've been going out for about 4 years, candidly, of course. And every Christmas, I had always said, don't get me anything for Christmas. Just trying to play the reverse psychology, and it always had worked. She'd always just splurged on Christmas, and this time, she actually took my word for it, or she actually listened to me and didn't buy me anything. And I was kind of, a little taken back by it. So I asked her right after New Year's, I said, hey, are you doing okay financially? And she said, yeah, why? And I said, well, there wasn't really anything under the Christmas tree this year. And she said, well, I thought you said you didn't want anything. And I said, well, yeah, but I had also said that 3 years prior to this last year, and you had always seemed to get me something. And, we kind of left it at that, and then I started noticing how when we would go out, she would start kind of taking a little bit longer to take out the purse to see if, maybe by just luck, I would take out my wallet. But, of course, I would always look the other way and wait longer than she would, and then she would eventually belly up. But I'm starting to notice that it's not like what it used to be.
Wow.
And,
so will there come a point where you'll cut her off?
I would, Tom, but, taking advice from my father, you don't jump from a yacht into a canoe until you have something at least the same size or better.
I understand. How old is she?
15 years older, so she would be 42.
42. But you wouldn't do it for free, would you?
No, I wouldn't. Well, you know, when it comes to the pie, I don't know many guys who would actually say no to it.
You guys never let me down. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. It's Charlie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Father. How are you?
Great.
Good to hear. So I was dating this chick. She worked at one of the big casinos out in Las Vegas. She would take me out to buffets all the time, all the nice restaurants. She got me Gucci sunglasses, shoes. She would fill my gas tank up. She'd buy plane tickets for us to go on our different excursions. And I later found out that all these excursions and all these meals were on Daddy's credit card. And Daddy recently lost his job, contractor or something like that. Lost his job.
Hello. Okay. 1-800-5800-TOM. There's some gremlins out there. I don't know what the hell's going on with these people. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's our telephone number. Patty, first female on the Tom Leykis Show. Oh, well, we had one female before, but nobody has called up yet and said that they were getting money from a sugar daddy. Hello?
Well, no, I'm not getting money from my sugar daddy. I actually dated a younger man.
Yeah.
And my only comment to the boys who's called before is, have they thought that maybe these older women that they were with were done with them and that's why they cut them off?
Well, that could be, but, you know, the question is it the economy or is that the reason? Could be that.
It could be, but again, if you want to be with this person and you kind of know that that's the status of your relationship to some extent, you're going to try to keep that guy around as long as you possibly can. But what I could see with some of the comments is that, yeah, you can turn around and blame it on the economy and just wash your hands of it.
Well, this guy who just called in said that his sugar mama was using her dad's credit card, and he lost his job.
His dad lost his job?
Her dad lost his job.
Well, like, I didn't get to hear the last guy's comment because I had to turn off the radio, but I was commenting on the guys who previously called about that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking it might be that they got played and, you know, the woman's done with them, so they cut him off.
It's entirely possible. Who knows? 1-800-5800-TOM. That's the telephone number here. Let's say hello for Ron on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
Not much.
All right, well, I think that girl, that last chick that just called, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Basically, my story goes, dating my dentist, I got introduced to my old dentist. I said, he was retiring, said, go to this one just down the street. She turned out to be 35 and pretty smoking. We'd go out a couple times a week in the beginning, you know, for the first probably month or so. And then basically it came down to me moving. And I was going to move into a different area. And she said, why don't you stay where you're at? And I said, well, I just can't afford my house. And she decided to throw me $1,000 a month to float on my house.
Really?
So stayed where I was.
What a deal.
Turned out perfect. Now, the only difference now with the economy is what I see. She's got a pretty settled deal with her dentistry, but instead of going out to dinner at a nice restaurant on Friday night, she likes to go out on a weeknight now and do a little happy hour deal. So, like what that last girl said, I still see her on Friday. She likes me to come over, but we won't go out. So she's not spending as much money.
So how do you feel about that?
It's all right, as long as she's still going to be like $1,000 a month.
Okay, so you are getting money. You've just gotten cut back.
Yeah, you know, the little luxuries like a $100 meal or whatever it is cut back a little bit.
So you'll still take the $1,000.
Hey, who wouldn't? You know
How much older is she? What is her age again?
I'm 26. She's 35.
I see. And she's married, living with someone? What's the deal?
No, divorced.
She's divorced?
Yeah, she's divorced.
I see.
Yeah, so that makes it a lot easier, too, because she had a good little settlement out of that deal.
How does she look?
She's about 5'6", 115, brown hair, white girl. She's pretty hot.
She's hot, too?
Yeah. I'd say she's about a 6, 7.
A 6 is not hot.
Well, for a 35-year-old that's giving you $1,000 a month, that's not bad.
No. Yeah, you see, when you give someone a number, when you assign them a rating, It has to be the way they look, not how much money they're giving you.
Oh, it's all a big equation to me.
I understand that's part of your equation in deciding whether to hook up with her. But if you're trying to describe her to the rest of the world, we're not getting $1,000 a month. What would we think of her?
I'd say she's average, maybe a little bit above.
5. She's a 5.
5'6". There you go.
1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Darlene on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Tom?
Hi.
Hi. Honey, let me tell you something. I love men, I love women, but there's just as many dirty men as it is women. And these men calling in talking about they using these older women. See, now how is that right? Tom?
Yeah, I'm listening to you, but here's...
Talk to me, baby. How is that right?
Well, I'm not... Again, is it right? Is it wrong? Again, that's not the topic of this hour. Believe me, we can have that conversation on a separate show. The question here is, of the people who are doing it, are they getting cut back? For me, I don't believe in doing this, whether you're a man or a woman. And I would never pay a woman to have a relationship with me or to have sex with me. Not in a million years. I did it one time when I was 25 and desperate. I will never do it again. Never.
Good for you. Good for you. And you know what, Tom? I just simply love you, honey. So do me a favor and take me out African style.
Here you go, darling.
Thank you.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-8666. The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show from Hollywood at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. All right. Someone is older than you, not as attractive as you. Probably less desirable than you. They've been dating you, and they've been giving you gifts. They've been giving you cash. They've been giving you trips. They pay your rent. They bought you a condo. Are they cutting back in the face of the economy? It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Let's say hello here to John on the Tom Leykis Show.
What's good, Tom?
Not much, John.
Well, here's my story. By the way, I love your show. About spring, last spring, I met this chick. She was a stripper. She was, when I first met her, I'd probably say she was 6.5. That's kind of pushing it. Anyway, so at the point in time, I lost my car. I was in the real estate business. Didn't have my car. So this rent me new cars almost every day. I had a friend that had an exotic car company. She would rent me everything from M5, CLs, S-classes. So pay for all my dinners, give me money. And then as the economy started going bad, she started making, and she had sugar daddies of her own. So I was kind of getting supplemental income from her sugar daddies. And as the economy got bad and worse, you know, cars started getting less money from her, stopped going out with her as much. And, you know, pretty much I had to cut her off because after that, her 6.5 rating went down to about 5, pushing it.
Wow. And now, are you still putting out for this person?
Oh, no, I actually have to cut her off because then when the money stopped coming, she started getting very annoying and she wanted me to be her boyfriend and she didn't have any money and I didn't want to be that guy anymore.
I understand. John?
Now, my question to you, Tom, is how come we haven't had this many women calling? Because I know personally at least 10 girls there are getting money from rich guys, ball players, team owners. You think they're shy of calling in?
I don't know what it is. Isn't it amazing? Or maybe none of them are getting cut back.
It seems like all the guys are calling in because, you know, guys, I guess...
I didn't know there were this many guys who had sugar mamas. Are you kidding me? I had no idea.
Yeah, I figured you could have about 20 women calling you right now, blowing up the phones.
Blowing me away.
Yeah, that's the story, but they're out there, trust me. The women out here are a lot more thirstier in L.A. than the guys.
Thank you for that, John. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Let's say hello here to Mike on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Tom.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Great.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm 22 years old, and dating a 37-year-old. And the funny thing behind this is she's from Pasadena, so all my friends give me a hard time and say it's a little old lady from Pasadena.
Now, how old is she again?
She's 37.
37. Well,
yeah.
37.
So she's not that old, but
37-year-olds are 37-year-old women now after this hour are going to be clutching their turkey necks after it's all over.
That's right.
You
They're going to
know
go straight to their plastic surgeon.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
So I just thought I'd share that with you, Tom. And forgot to tell you at the beginning of the show, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
But thanks for having me on, Tom. Been a fan for about 5 years now. If you could give me out Compton style.
Compton style. Here you go, Mike.
Thanks.
Biatch. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. It's Jay on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom.
Yes.
What's up?
Not much.
How you doing?
That's kind of the same as what's up.
Pretty much. Check this out, Tom. These little young guys out here, man, they don't know what's up. They think they're doing the right thing, but look, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm the type of guy, I'll be out here doing my thing too, right?
Yeah.
I had an older lady, but check it out. It was my brother's mother-in-law. Can you dig that? Took care of me like royalty.
Really? How old is she? Up, zero tolerance policy. Yeah. The F word, great at home, fantastic on the internet, very useful. On the air, still prohibited. Go to myspace.com/Tom Leykis. Go to my blog, get a complete list written by my own hand, by the way. Complete list of all the words and phrases you can't say on the air. You'll get immediately hung up on. That's myspace.com/TOMLEYKIS. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Rigo on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Father. How's it going?
Doing great.
Pretty good. Let me tell you a little story about my life. I am 32 years old. I have this sugar mama. She is 56 years old. And the type of money she makes, since this little recession has happened, she spends like less money on herself, but she makes sure I'm taken care of every other way. My truck payment is paid. She gives me money whenever I need it. I come and go when I want, pick up the phone when I want, have sex whenever I want, and she doesn't have no problem with it. You know, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you so much.
Can you take me out Kobe style?
Yes, Rigo, I can.
This is about us. She's so special to me. You're a beat to my heart. You're the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
It's 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. John in Portland, Oregon, home of the other white meat. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
It's going great.
Hey, we all listen to you up here in Portland. We're having a great time. We really appreciate the message you send. I kind of got a theory about this, why you're hearing from more guys than gals right now with the sugar daddy thing.
Do tell.
I think it's because these gals, when they're forced a potential cutback or some of their little perks getting taken away, I think they work a lot harder for their men and earn their money a little more, where some of the guys, you know, the women say, it's kind of extra fun anyway, so I can trim that back. And the sugar mamas might be getting a little trim back themselves. And so they'd rather buy the Prada bags than...
trim back is a very good phrase for it.
So what do you think?
Well, again, I'm blown away by your phraseology.
Well,
a little trim back.
A little trim back.
Yeah, you don't have to push it.
I think the gals work harder for it when they're faced with the potential cutback.
They work, you mean they dance as fast as they can to try to stay in the game?
Can. Absolutely. That's what the Friday Night Boys would say.
I think you're probably right about that.
All right.
All right. Thank you for that. Before you repeat everything you just said. Rick on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, son.
How are you?
Doing great.
Well, I've found myself in kind of a twisted version of this story. So for the last 5 years, I have been providing for, in every way possible, a divorced single mother, broken a bunch of your rules, and recently fell into my lap a coworker who's actually sort of compensating me. She is now providing for me, and I'm getting it from both.
Really?
So,
is that
yes.
so?
Yes. So there's all the pain and suffering on the one side, and I have started to cut back slowly but surely, less bills being paid, etc. But she's still providing. And then the coworker who's trying to save me from this torture, from this hell that I'm always seem to be down about, she's doing the same, except she's compensating me financially as well.
What a deal! And she is how old?
The single mother?
Yeah, how old is she?
36.
Now, does she insist that you not use condoms or anything like that?
Oh, well. At first, she was a complete Nazi about it. And then, she's starting to loosen up. And according to her, I'm broadening her horizons. Apparently, her ex-husband was kind of a prude.
Look at you.
So, yeah.
Congratulations. What else can I say, Rick? Thanks a lot for the call.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.